Hey guys, it's me, Meachy. Welcome back to my channel, Pink Sheep Beauty. Pink like the color, sheep like the animal, and beauty like who you are. Based off of John 10:27, which says, "For my sheep know my voice, and a stranger they won't follow." Just wanted to come by and say hi to my YouTube family. I pray that you guys are well and maybe have a little bit of discussion, like a short little, just a little woosah. I posted something on my Instagram, and I'm Pink Sheep Beauty on Instagram as well. Follow me there if you're not already. I'd love to have you over. The very reason that people say they love you will be the very same reason that they hate you. And I said that because I was thinking about how we in life as humans deal with so much, right? And we have different characteristics, and we have different giftings, and we have different scenarios that come up in life. And sometimes when people know you to be a certain way, they expect you to stay that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, for instance, say you're an entrepreneur, or you've always talked about being an entrepreneur, or writing a book, or starting a business. I don't know, you want your own salon, or you want your own lash line, or you're going to be a doctor. Whatever it is that your goal is, and maybe the people around you have heard you say that you want to do it, and they may have seen you do a couple of things towards it, but now you're actually focused on it, and you're making strides towards it. And before it, they may have thought, "Oh my gosh, I admire your zeal, I admire your gumption, I admire the fact that you're chasing after your dreams." But when you actually start, let me move my Bible. When you actually start to do it, it may make them feel insecure. It may make them feel like, it may make them take a look at their lives and what they're not doing with them, and doing with it. And it may make them feel a little bit uncomfortable. And it doesn't mean that you don't love them and they don't love you. It just means that that's where the space that they're in. So what happens is sometimes you might find yourself dialing back and not doing as much as you used to, because for fear of looking different, being judged, or what have you. But I'm here to tell you that there is no reason in the world as a child of God that we should dim our light. And that's one of the things that I have to be conscious of, because I've dealt with it, I deal with it. It's something that I go up and down with, but no more. That's why I decided no more. Like, my life is too valuable at this point in stage in my life for me to just sit around and make people comfortable. And you may not know that you even do it. Like, I wasn't, for me personally, it wasn't like I'm like, "Oh my gosh, it's making this person uncomfortable." No, it was more of a subconscious thing that's in the back of your mind. And if you're getting too much attention about a specific thing, you find yourself pulling back. But the problem is, somebody has to do it. And if the calling is on your life to do it, to be the doctor, to be the entrepreneur, to be the prayer warrior, to excel in school, to be the only one in your family to go to college, to be the comedian, whatever it is that you want to do, somebody has to do it. And if you don't do it, here's the deal: God is not, He doesn't sit around waiting for us to get it together. One monkey doesn't stop the show. So what you'll see people doing what it is that you're supposed to be doing, and you might have that thought of, "Man, that should be me," or "I can do better than that." But the problem is you're not doing it, right? It might be because you're afraid of what people think. So when you start to walk in your purpose and you start to really excel at it, you're going to have some situations where people don't understand it. It doesn't make them bad, and it doesn't make you bad. It just means that you are transitioning. The journey is changing, and maybe it can be reconciled if they get on board. Because when you have a purpose and a calling for God, nobody should be able to stop you. Nobody. It doesn't matter who it is. Family, friends, a spouse, it doesn't matter. If God has given you a purpose, okay, and you're clear on the direction that you should be going in, if they're not for you, then they're against Him. Now, what can happen though is, people sometimes need a moment to swallow and get acclimated to the change that's happening in your life. Like, for instance, I'm gonna give you an example. Examples always pop in my head and I get excited about them. Let's say you lost a ton of weight. Maybe you've always been the heavy, chunky girl, right? Or the chunky person, you got a pretty face, but you're cute for a fat girl. When people say stuff like that, "Oh, she's cute for not thick." I'm talking about you've been obese, right? And you've been battling with your weight forever, and you finally started losing weight. And maybe people will start telling you stuff like, "Girl, you don't need to lose any more weight. Girl, you about to disappear. Girl, how skinny you want to be? You look sick." All that kind of stuff. And it's like, wait, hold on. When I had diabetes and I was at the hospital every other day and I couldn't walk upstairs, and you were telling me that you knew I could do it, it was okay. But now that I'm doing it, you think I'm this, or you think I'm like, it's just people get like that. And I think it's part of insecurity that they may have Because when we start to change, your circle has to look at themselves and think, what am I doing with myself? What am I doing with my life? Doesn't make it bad, doesn't make it good. It does make you aware though. So my post today that said, people love you for the very same reason that they'll hate you was for that very purpose. Sometimes when you have a calling, a gifting, a goal, or a mindset to do great things and to move forward, they're not going to understand you. You can still love them, but I just want to encourage you and tell you to keep going and try not to get angry with what you see around you, and not get bitter, because bitterness will stop a whole bunch of blessings. You know, that's not how God operates. So I hope that this is a blessing to somebody. You know, I thought about Joseph, Joseph with the brothers, and they sold him because he was supposed to be, he had that dream. See, Joseph had a dream that he was going to rule over his brothers, and he was the baby, and he was also his dad's favorite, and they already hated him. And he didn't make it any better by telling them what was going to happen. Like, I'm gonna be better than you, I'm gonna do X, Y, Z. So when it made me think about Joseph today, I'm like, you know what? His blessing was that he was favored in his family, right, by his dad, and God favored him, and he seemed to get things that were good, right, as a youth. The problem was people hated on him. It happened to be his family. So when he got sold, he was still favored in the prison. He was favored in the palace. He was even favored when he was accused of sexual assault that he didn't commit. But at the end of the day, it hurt him. But the fact of the matter is, even in the middle of all the confusion, God was still faithful. And that's what I'm trying to tell you, that it's not always going to feel good. I know, I'm experiencing it, but God is with you. So I pray that you get encouraged and don't give up on your dream, your goal, and your vision that God has for you. Hope this is a blessing to somebody. And yes, people will love you for the same exact reason that they hate you. So what? I will see you guys on the other side of blessed. Bye.